Dynamically editing the motion details. So we're going to refine some of your sprites and poses. After applying your motion to the character, we need to tweak some parts that look a little weird when posed. The most common situation is that when a 3D angle projects onto a 2D character, the length of certain bones will be compressed. It's sort of incorrectly foreshortened. Usually, the fix is pretty easy. It's just to move the joints to a better looking position. We can change the layer sequence of the palm and the arm for a better preview. Select the motion that we want to refine, and then find and set keyframes where the character looks correct before and after the problematic motion. Press E to stretch the joint out and adjust the rotation of the palm. And you can adjust to taste to make the motion smoother. Another situation you'll see is when some parts of the character end up bent backwards. Selecting reverse joint angle can quickly, reverse the angle of the joint. Choose the joint of the elbow or the knee, or you can just choose any joint like the hand or the foot, anything below the elbow and the knee. And like before, you'll need to set keyframes before and after the motion section that you're refining. And you just want to do that so that the rest of the motion doesn't change because of the adjustments that you're making here. We can change the angle of the foot by changing the foot sprite. If you want to restore the motion to the way it was, you'll just need to change the foot sprite back. Selecting the foot here, you're going to see there are foot and toe sprites for each foot. When changing to a front foot, you just need to change the toe sprite to empty. And then we'll change back to a side foot look according to the foot action of your motion. And then of course, we'll also need to change the toe sprite back when changing to a side foot pose. We can scrub through the timeline to find the right frame to change the sprites. We can fine-tune the rotation of the joint to look a bit better after swapping sprites. Lastly, we can adjust the layer sequence. The default layer sequence of the legs is the right leg in the front. So when the character crosses their leg, it just doesn't do that sometimes. We should change the layer sequence of every sprite that happens to cross over at the same time frame. The icon at the very bottom left of the toolbar, that would be your layer editor. First, what you got to do is you got to select the target sprite, you got to choose the layer order, and then select the reference layer. The target sprite will be sent to the front or to the back accordingly. And here we can see just what that looks like. You can also adjust when to change the layer sequence on the timeline accordingly. Moreover, you can actually indicate the forward or backward movement of the body by just adjusting the layer sequence. Like for example, check this out. When you want to show a slight rotation of the body, like someone turning their shoulders, you can actually just shift the layer sequence of the shoulder behind or in front of the torso. And you get a really cool, subtle effect.